The maths of becoming a six-figure freelancer for Google Ads is really quite easy, because all you need to do is to make $8,333 with 33 cents reoccurring every single month, on average, of course, which is then broken down to $1,923 a week, or only $274 a day. But if you are watching this in 2024 or a leap year, that number goes down to only being $273 a day. So while that math is really easy to work out, and a lot of people say, look, $274 a day, that's an easy target to hit. And yes, making $100,000 a year as a freelancer is easy, but it is also a lot harder than you may think. Now, the reason for why I say that it is easy is because I'm not unique in that I achieved my first $100,000 a year as a freelancer in my second year of being a freelancer. And I know that story is not too uncommon. I've spoken to many other people who have done the same thing, and even some have done it greater than what I have been able to achieve. But then I also do know that it is a lot harder, because it's not just breaking down numbers. While I know that it is possible, and as I said, as we broke down that math, it's really quite easy to think in your head, all I need to do is to generate $274 of sales in a day. It can seem really easy and manageable, but the hard part about it is that to achieve that goal of becoming a six-figure freelancer, it does take a lot of effort and discipline. And although if I know that I wrote a video saying that it's easy, anyone can do it and you can do it too, I'd probably get more views on YouTube. But the reason why I don't feel comfortable sharing a video like that is because I know that it's just not true. So in this video, I want to take you through the 4 core behaviors that you need to manage and master if you're going to be able to achieve that goal that you have of becoming a six-figure freelancer. And obviously, because Google Ads is the skill set that I used to achieve that, I'm going to be drawing a lot of experience from Google Ads and giving some real life examples in that. But I do want to stress that these 4 core principles would work for anyone who's wanting to become a digital marketing freelancer. Now, the first core principle is a quick one, but it's a very important one, and that is to wake up every day and have a shower. Now, it sounds so simple, but if you want to have success as a digital freelancer, you need to get this core habit under wraps. Whereas you set an alarm, you wake up when that alarm goes off, you don't press snooze 5 times, you have a shower, and then you get into your day and you start working. Because the reality is that as a freelancer, you may be working from home and you don't have a boss watching you. You don't have someone over your shoulder if you turn up late to work. You can very quickly get caught in that death trap of just waking up and scrolling through social media or just fluffing around the house, and before you've realized it, you've wasted 3 or 4 hours of the day. Now, I've expanded this for my own life, where my alarm goes off at 6 a.m. I then go to the gym, come home, have some breakfast, have a shower, and then get into my day. And I'm not going to sit here and say that you need to do exercise before, or I'm not going to sit here and say that you need to wake up at a certain time. Realistically, it doesn't matter whether you wake up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's more about the routine, that you have a daily routine where this is when you wake up and this is when you start working. And I was speaking with someone just last week, and this was the biggest point that we factored in on, that for them to have success in their life, that this was the simple routine. They had a good skill set, they had a good level of experience, but the one thing that was letting them down is that quite often they just wouldn't get done everything they needed to get done in a day, and it came to that they were wasting the first 3 or 4 hours of their day, and in some cases the first 6 hours of their day, because they didn't have that routine in place. So yes, I do admit that it's a very, very easy one, but so many people sabotage their journey just because they are unable to get this simple discipline under wraps, where you wake up at an alarm at a set time, have a shower, have some breakfast, and get into your day. And then that brings us now to our core principle that you will need to repeat every single day in order for success. And that is to test and create systems that work for you. Now, all of us will be at different stages of life. We'll all have different body patterns and different work patterns, different motivation patterns. So I can't sit here and say that this is what you need to do every single day. But what you do need to do is that you need to test different things and find a system that works for you. Now, for me, I quit my job in 2010, so I've been working for myself now coming on 13 years. So I've tested a lot of different systems and a lot of different strategies, And I now know very clearly what works for me. And I want to take you through both of those systems right now. And the first system that I use that I want to take you through is what I call my weekly checklist. Now, as you can see, this is nothing that's flashy at all. It's just a spreadsheet that I run on my computer. And what it does is it goes through, and I've got all of my client names here, which I've obviously just taken out for the purpose of this video. But what I go through is I've then got, for each client, I've got whether I've done my first optimization session or my second optimization session each week, and then whether I've sent through that invoice for the month. And then from there, I also have this spare column where I can go through and write any notes on each of the clients. Now, the reason why I like this one is that at any glance throughout any time of the week, I know exactly whether I've completed my 2 optimization sessions. As you can probably see here, I do 2 core optimization sessions for each client every single week. And what I'll do go through is, let's just say I go through and I've finished this first session, and they've also got 20% sale happening at this one. If I need to then go through after this first optimization session, I'm then saying I need to add in an extra display campaign for their sales promotion, I can then go through it and make sure I've done it on that second session. So for this one, the process of what I'm looking at going through here is I just want to make sure that I'm completing all of the core tasks for all of my clients. And that way I'm not having to dive through emails. So for here, for example, we got an email with this client saying that we could start to scale this account as long as we kept their CPA under $9. So I just very, very quickly just wrote a quick note from that email into this weekly checklist so that I never miss anything important from the client. You know, this client here, they wanted a product report and a merchant center report. So I've added that note in here. For this client, they wanted us to add in some shopping remarketing campaign. It's kind of like my diary where I'm going through and making sure that I'm getting all of my important tasks done for that individual week. Now, that first system, which I just showed you, is all about making sure that I complete all of the tasks that I need to complete for all of my individual clients, and then also making sure that I'm sending them their invoice every month. And I've found that that's the best system that works for me. I find that it works on a spreadsheet. Some people like to add that in a Google Calendar. Some people may want to have a handwritten document, whichever way you want to go about it. But the importance behind that is having a clear list of items that you need to complete every single week. And now I want to bring you to another system that I use, and this is going to be specifically for people who are wanting to become a Google Ads freelancer. And this is because these are my Google Ads optimization checklists. And the reason for why these are so powerful is because that first sheet, which I showed you, just lets me know whether I've gone through and completed those optimization checks that we need to do. It also lists any specific tasks for that client that I need to complete. But when it comes down to my optimization checklists, is that this takes you through the exact process of what you need to optimize in your Google Ads account every 72 days, every week, every month, or every 90 days. And let me show you right now how these checklists work. So this is a checklist that I developed, and I'm showing you the option which you can download. I've got them for my search campaigns, and then we've also got another one which you can use for your shopping and your Performance Max campaigns. Now, the beauty of these checklists and how they work is that it breaks down all of the core optimization tasks that you need to complete. So your search term audits, your product title reviews, you're reviewing your ad assets, you're optimizing your product feed, your bid optimization, and then for your search campaign, there's your keyword search review, your ad review, your quality score, your bid optimizations, all the things that you need to do. And what you can even do here as well is that it's broken down by what you need to complete, whether you need to complete that action every 72 hours or every week or every month. We've got the same here on the e-commerce checklist. And on the e-commerce checklist, it even takes it a step further and lets you know whether you need to complete this action on a shopping campaign or whether it's on a Performance Max campaign. And what you can then also do is you can add in some optimization notes. Let's just say, for example, here on the 20th of February, we reviewed the search terms and added new keywords. And if it was on something that takes 90 days, say, for example, our bidding strategy, what we can do, we can even say here and go, February. And even if we didn't make any changes, we know that we reviewed it on February. And so then we don't need to review that again for another 90 days. And then what I even do is that I actually go through and make a duplicate of this list, and we can change this for March. And if you wanted to, you could even put it in here and say that this is for client 1, and then you can create different spreadsheets for different clients. What this does do is that way, if the client ever asks you for, what you've been doing on your account, you've got a real life list of these are the optimizations that you've done. And even if they go through and check your change history and see that you didn't change any bidding optimizations for 6 months, you can then at least go back and say, we reviewed it in February, we also then reviewed it in May, and this is why we didn't change that specific action. So that first system that works for me was that spreadsheet, and it was all about making sure that I go through and I've completed all of the tasks that I've needed to complete for each of my individual clients. And then that second system, those optimization checklists, is where I get strategic in making sure that I'm actually completing all of the tasks that you need to complete in order to run and optimize a successful Google Ads campaign. And on that second one, the Google Ads optimization checklist for your search campaigns, and also that e-commerce checklist that you can use on your shopping and Performance Max campaigns. If you want access to that, I'd love to help you and give you free access right now. All you need to do is to follow that link in the description, and then you can download and get free access to those Google Ads optimization checklists right now. So with that said, let's now get to the third powerful action that you need to undertake in order to be able to successfully achieve your goal of becoming a six-figure freelancer. And this core action is all about planning your weeks for success. So we've already gone through how to make sure that you have a successful day. We've then also gone through those systems to make sure that you're covering and going through and making sure that you're completing all the tasks for each individual client. This one is all about planning your week, making sure that you've allotted the correct amount of times and the correct focus for those most important areas. At the moment, because I'm quite far away down the road, down my freelancer journey, and that I get a lot of referral business, and I also get a lot of clients coming to me for my Google Ads management services, and I'm not having to do a lot of manual outreach, my week looks like this at the moment, where on Mondays, I'm focusing on YouTube content, like making these videos. I'm then also going through and reviewing my emails, and then also doing some review of my sales funnels and my website. On Tuesday, it's all about Google Ads optimizations and client coaching calls. On Wednesdays, I then go through any of my tier 1 client meetings, sales calls, meetings for potential new clients. And then that's where I also do go through and do strategy calls, and also go through any new campaign setups or any restructures that we've got underway for major Google Ads accounts. And then Thursday, it's back to Google Ads optimizations and client calls. And then at the moment, I'm even taking Fridays off. And that's how my weeks work at the moment. But if you rewind 4 or 5 years ago, where I was heavily into outreach to get new clients, my structure looked a lot different in that Monday, the whole of Monday was assigned to sales calls and presentations. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I did all of my client meetings and optimizations. But what I also did do on those days is the first 2 hours of each day, I was going through and doing manual outreach. So that was either cold calling or emails. And then on Friday, I always used Friday as a bit of a mop-up day, just to make sure that I completed all of my tasks. And if there was anything that I hadn't done, I would do it on that day. I don't want to get down into the particulars of how you need to plan your week. The only thing that I want to say, and what you need to take away from this point, is that you need to have a structure in place every single week, so that if a client rings you and wants to have a meeting with you, you know exactly what days and what times that you have available for that meeting. And the reason for why this is so important is because very early in my freelancing career, I found that urgent things that weren't really important were taking up all of my week. So by structuring your week, you're making sure that the important things are done, and then also any urgent things that popped up, they were able to slip into certain parts of the week so that it didn't railroad or ruin your whole week. And a really wise saying that I heard that I live my life by when I schedule my weeks is that don't let someone else's poor planning become your emergency. So just because you've had a client that forgot to let you know about an upcoming promotion, and they've only let you know 24 hours before it's supposed to go live, it doesn't mean that it's going to railroad your whole week. By setting those expectations really clearly when you're signing up a new client of when they can contact you, the best ways of contacting, and also too, if there's new promotions coming up, I let my clients know the time ranges of when I need that data. So when I need the promotion information, and when also I need the different images and the ad copies, in order so that I can set up their campaigns live. Once again, I'm not going to go through whether that's 7 days or 4 days or 5 days, because that really comes down to a discussion between you and your client. But the important point being is that you've had that discussion and you've got that in place so that you can protect your calendar and make sure that you can continue to complete all of those important tasks that you need to complete. Now, if you're at the start of your freelancing journey, you will need to allow a lot of time, and that will potentially be up to about 50% of your time trying to find new clients. As you get more established, you can obviously pull that back a little bit, but you will always need to make sure that you're doing some level of outreach so that you've always got new clients coming through. And now I want to talk about the fourth and final core behavior that you'll need to master if you're going to successfully become a six-figure freelancer. And up until now, we've spoken about things that really just make it possible for you to be able to complete all of those important tasks that you need to complete. So firstly, we spoke about the discipline of just waking up and getting started and working at the same time every day. We then spoke about the systems that you need to put in place. I showed you the systems that I use, where I've got that weekly checklist where I go through and really schedule out my time to make sure that I'm covering all of my client tasks and requests. And then that second system I showed you through was those Google Ads optimizations checklists. And that's more about the actual strategy, making sure that I'm up to date and optimizing my Google Ads campaigns in the best possible way, using the current strategies that are working right now. And that third point was all about being really protective of your calendar and making sure that you've structured your week in such a way that you can make sure that you're completing those important tasks and you're not just running from emergency to emergency or urgent tasks to urgent tasks and missing out on those highly important tasks which are going to grow your business and also increase the results of your clients' campaigns. And that fourth core behavior which you have to master is just quite simply to just keep going. Many people will start in this freelancer journey and they'll stop after a couple of months, or they may stop after a couple of years. But what's really core that if you're going to be a successful freelancer, you need to understand that the work that you're doing today, you won't earn the full potential from that work you're doing today for months or even years in advance. And to give you an example of what I'm talking about, if I look over the revenue that I've earned in the last 5 years, over half of that has come in the last 12 months. So in the last 12 months, we earned more than what we've done in the previous 4 years. And that's because you don't generally see growth by just 2% every month or 5% every month. What I've found that, especially as a freelancer, growth isn't linear. And what I mean by that, it doesn't go up by the same amount every single month. You'll get these peaks and booms where you can potentially double or triple, or sometimes even quadruple or 5x your monthly revenue in the period of about 4 or 5 weeks. But that doesn't happen if you don't just keep going and create those systems and stick to those systems and stick to the process. And I'm living proof, because if I had stopped 3 years ago, I would have been missing out on the success that I'm now seeing today. And this comes back to one of my favorite quotes. And this is one of my last thoughts that I want to share with you, because this is going to be an important quote for you to remember on your journey of becoming a 6-figure freelancer. And that is that many people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, but they severely underestimate what they can achieve in 10. And what we mean by that is that most people will start the new year and go, this year is the year that I'm going to earn $100,000. And they may get discouraged if they don't achieve that, but you should be looking at the goal of a long term for over what you can achieve in 10 years. Because I look back at what I've achieved in the last 10 years and it still blows my mind. But then when I look back at individual years, there's been some years where it just felt like I've been at that same level for 3 and 4 and 5 years in a row. So that's why I want to encourage you to just stick with it and keep going, to follow that process through, because remembering that the work that you're putting in today, you may not get the benefits of that work until 4, 5, 6 years from now. So if you're still here to the end of the video, I really do thank you for sticking around. Throughout this video, I've tried to be as honest as possible. I've tried to not just break it down to some quick little things that you need to do, like drink this special tea or do this nighttime bed routine, because underlying all of it is that if you're truly going to see success as a freelancer, it does come down to those boring practices of just keeping going, making sure that you're structuring your week correctly, making sure that you're following a strategic system when you're actually optimizing your accounts. So it's been my pleasure having you here on this video. And if this is the first video you've ever watched of mine, my name is Aaron Young. I'm from Define Digital Academy and I'm your 15,000 hour Google Ads Master. And if you've loved this content, it would be great if you could subscribe and also turn on that notification bell so that you never miss out when I release another video. And to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, over the coming weeks and months, I'm going to be releasing another video like this where it's going to detail how to go from a 6-figure freelancer up to a 7-figure freelancer, because there are some very real differences that you need to put in place if you're going to start that journey to becoming a 7-figure freelancer. And one of the first most important steps is making sure that you have that structure and the process for how you're going to be optimizing your Google Ads accounts, if that's the skill set that you want to use to become a 6-figure freelancer. So make sure that you follow that link in the description below to get those Google Ads optimization checklists. And if you want to also see the process that I use to sign up new clients, I want you to go through it and watch this video right here. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.